So here are a couple exceptions for imperative. First one is when you're using second person. When you're talking to somebody and you want to give them a command, you can say something like queria. You should ask in the indefinite. But I forgot the R. But what they also will do sometimes is they'll just drop that EL or the AL depending on what vowel harmony you're using, and they'll just say quer, like that. So they just have a KERJ. Or in the definite, instead of saying queried, they'll just say querd. So in the indefinite, they drop the J and E and they use the D. So if you can remember, in the indefinite, use a J for a command or a D if you're using definite. But there's also another letter that they'll sometimes use, or another two letters, and it's with this other exception. If you look here, when you see a word like tani, and it ends with a T, you know it's going to be irregular. Everything that ends with a T in subjunctive is going to have a weird ending. So in this one, you have to always make sure you double check what the second to last letter is. If it is a long vowel or another different consonant, you're just going to be adding an S to the end of this verb if you're using the command form of second person. So generally it would be a tani jiao if you're doing the full conjugation. But just like I have right here. But you can shorten to that just the S. So that's another way you can just use a command. So this would be tanich instead of tani jiao. So a TS kind of makes a ch sound, just like the CS. Or if you're trying to do definite, you can just do taniched. Taniched. It's kind of weird, like it's like tanich, but then you have the kind of d at the end. Taniched. Almost a T almost actually. Taniched. So this would be the definite form. So tanich and taniched. So another rule is right here. If it doesn't have a long vowel or another consonant when it ends with a T, something like maybe futni, you drop the T altogether and you make it a double S. So when you put what you can say is you just put the S in there like you would here, but since it doesn't have a strong something next to it, it loses its value or loses its strength, I guess, I don't know, and then just becomes the S. So it conforms, because fush, this means run. So one time when I was running in the morning, I was running by some Hungarians and they were like, fush, Forrest, fush, like off that movie, Forrest Gump. So there you go, if this helps.